As a rabbi and community leader, I'm frequently asked, how can I help the community? My reply is to first identify your strengths and skills, and then contribute a portion of it to the community. In his book, Hayom Yom, the Rebbe provides a teaching for every day of the year. For the 23rd day of Tevis, he writes as follows: groaning by itself won't do a bit of good. A groan is only a key to open the heart and eyes, so as not to sit there with folded arms, but to plan orderly work and activity, each person wherever he can be effective, to campaign for bolstering Torah, spreading Torah, and the observance of mitzvot. One person might do this through his writing, another with his oratory, another with his wealth. This teaching emphasizes that everyone has a unique role to play in the community. Talented writers should focus on writing, while businessmen should focus on making money and supporting charity causes. A robust Jewish community needs all types of people with all types of backgrounds and skill sets. If the policeman decides he's the fireman, and the fireman decides he's the accountant, and the accountant decides he's the rabbi, and the rabbi decides he's the philanthropist, you'll have chaos. Each person must recognize their role and stay in their lane and contribute from there. This is the recipe for a healthy, vibrant, and respectful Jewish community. This week's Parsha, Parshas Shemos, tells the story of Moses and his mission to deliver the Jewish people from Egypt. Almighty God appears to Moses at the burning bush and instructs him to go speak to the Pharaoh and tell him to let my people go. Moses repeatedly resists this responsibility. One of the excuses he offers is his speech impediment. How can I be charged with the mission to speak and negotiate with the Pharaoh, says Moses. This isn't my skill set. Send someone with the appropriate oratory talents. Surely they will do the requested job appropriately. To quote Exodus chapter 4, verse 10, I am not a man of words, neither from yesterday, nor from the day before yesterday, nor from the time you have spoken to your servant, for I speak with difficulty and a heavy tongue. At first glance, this seems to be like a fitting excuse. After all, don't we say stick to what you're good at? However, in this circumstance, it's incorrect, and we must learn a lesson from this story for our daily life. For as God rhetorically asks Moses in verse 11, who gave man a mouth, or who makes one dumb or deaf or seeing or blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Almighty God was well aware of Moshe's speech impediment, and this response alone doesn't seem to address the core of the issue. How is Moshe, who has this handicap, the correct person for this job? And for this, God adds in verse 12, so now go, I will be with your mouth, and I will instruct you what you shall speak. In other words, you aren't going with your own strength and power. You aren't going with your own self-defined skills or lack thereof. You are now going with godly strength. I will be with you. You are my agent, and as such, you will be successful in the task you are given. Sometimes I approach people for charity, and they reply, I'm not a big philanthropist, and I maxed out my charity giving for the next while. Sometimes I invite people to a program, and they say, this event really isn't my thing, and I'm too tired. Sometimes I approach people to come to a class, and they say, extra studies really isn't my thing, and I'm overworked. This is similar to the approach that Moshe took. It's not for me. I'm not that type of person. Other things I'll attend. Other things I'll be able to give to. Other times maybe. But now, not for me. But we are reminded in this week's Parsha that while yes, indeed it is true that one must realize where you excel and contribute from that space. Seek not to become someone you are not. Seek not a job better suited for someone else. It is also true that at times you are called upon to reach deeper and give more, to reach deeper and find more time, to reach deeper and go out of your comfort zone. How can you do it? How will you be successful, says God? For I will be with you. You are no longer going with your own strengths and talents. You are going with mine. If someone approaches you for help in whatever area of life it may be, if the community needs you and they call upon you, they ask of you, this is a sign from God that you can be helpful. God gives us special energy to attend additional classes. God gives us additional capacities to go above and beyond our nature, to join more community events, to join more services, to join more classes. Let's be wise and say yes to an invitation to a community event. We can rely on God for additional strength. He promises to provide it. I wish you a good Shabbos.